Hi, it's Elena of Financialdemics, and today we are creating a simple budget. So this was my first video on my channel. I wanted to update it for you so that you can actually see what I'm talking about in action instead of me just talking to you on the camera. So we're gonna go over to my desk and I'm gonna show you how I used to budget in the beginning and the thought process behind it, just in case you're new to budgeting and you're just really looking for an easy way to understand where your money is going and what you have left. Okay, so now we're at my desk and I really want to show you how to do a very simple budget, especially if you don't like budgeting or you're new to budgeting. You're like, what do I do? That zero base look too difficult. I cannot figure out how to get it to add up. All those lines, I don't want to do percentages, which percentages can be easy, but I get it. Maybe because the percentages don't fit, you're just like, it's too much. So I'm going to show you exactly how I used to budget when I first started budgeting. So hopefully you looking at this will make it a little bit better. I'm going to use my same numbers. I recently put up a video with my actual, like, minding my money. I'm doing my budget, things like that. So check it out if you haven't seen it. But I'm going to do the same thing, but as a simple budget and what I used to do. All right, so what I would do is I would do this at the beginning of the month and I would still do it on paydays, but it just made it easy for me. I would literally grab any sheet of paper. I would be at work on payday doing this. Okay, so let's just say monthly budget. And y'all, I do not have the best handwriting. Well, I would say some days it's good, and then some days I'm like, girl, who is that? So just know I'm using my same numbers from that particular budget from that video. So just to make it easier, right? So I know income is going to be $3,600. And then I would just come down and put expenses. Sometimes, and I'll put this in parentheses, sometimes I would just put bills, you know, because I kept it real. When I say it's going to be real simple, it's just going to be real simple. I would literally go through and write down every single bill. That's all I would do. I would put what I had to pay for, like who I had to pay. I didn't care necessarily about the due date at that time, but the due date is important. So you could put the due date like here. But at that time when I used to run these numbers, I was just trying to make sure there was going to be money left over. That is really what I used to do. And so I would just run the numbers by writing them down. All right, and I'm going to come back when all the numbers are written down. Once I get all the numbers written down, I would add food, because food had to happen, right? Food happens no matter what, right? You got to have some type of groceries. So I would add food. At this time, my son was young, but I didn't have a kid fund yet. But if you have a kid fund, add your kid fund in, right? I would add gas. I probably should have explained why my gas was so low in the other video, but I didn't. Y'all, I live in the city. I barely drive my car. And so gas for me, I don't get gas often. It's still a little crazy. I don't get gas often. And so I probably, if I have to fill up that month, and I'm saying if, I probably would spend, I wouldn't spend that much money. This is not enough to put a full tank in my car. I probably should raise it up, but literally I don't really have to fill up my car that often, and somebody's driving my car, so yeah, they're filling the car up. I'm not really putting gas, so that's why my gas is low. I'm just running kind of like a gas sinking fund, and that's it. Like, So I'm not going to add my kid because I'm really just trying to show you what I used to do and how that helps. Now, it does help for you to add your kids. If you have kids, and I'll probably do a separate video about this, whoo, that kid seeking fun saves lives, okay? Oh, I forgot one thing. I would also put my savings in here. So no matter what you're saving, at that time, I was literally saving a flat rate. I didn't even know enough. I just knew I needed to save money. So at the time, I was saving a flat rate. So you can put whatever amount you want to save based off of this month's budget. So this is why these numbers look like this. All right, so what I would do is total everything up. Should know what this is. I already have this. And then just add these extras I have in here, like the food, the savings, and the gas. It should be this number. Sorry, y'all. The accountant in me will not let me just like not verify that number. I have to verify. It's just how I am. Actually, this is how I am in general. I literally just had a conversation with my husband. He was trying to figure out how I knew basically how much money we would need to do something. And I was like, I run numbers all day in my head. And he was like, what? He was like, you did it without me. I was like, no. It popped in my head and I just ran numbers. I did research and ran numbers. It wasn't thinking doing it without you. I have to satisfy the thought process. All right, so my number did check out. That is the number. All right, so then I would literally come over to here. So let me move this a little bit. I would come over here and do this. Literally, y'all. Literally. This is what I would do. Let me put my zeros because it's a habit. Which tells me I have $618.95 left, right? If I knew I wanted to do something more, like put more money towards the savings, then I would put more money towards the savings immediately. Because when I get paid, this right here, right? This is a monthly budget, but if it was payday and it was just a paycheck budget, I'm paying all these bills right now. The thought is if you go ahead and pay these bills, they're going to come out at least by Monday, Tuesday, right? Because I got paid on Fridays. And then whatever should be left in my account when all of this happens, or if I shift whatever I need to make happen, I should have this much money left when it's all said and done, okay? So that's how I budget. And then what I would do is with this money here, whatever ends up being left, right? Because I would adjust based off of if I want to do something. Whatever money is left, I decide what I'm going to do with it. I was not a envelope person, nothing against the envelope. Ladies, I'm not a cash person. I don't like to have a lot of cash. And so either I would decide I'm going to spend this much on my kid, maybe get some clothes if we need it, things like that. But basically, I would work with this number. I always knew, like, once you spent this much money, you didn't have any money left. And that's literally how I would budget. Now, if any of this was left over by the time I got paid again, then I would actually save. And that's how I started out budgeting. Now, one thing I will mention now that I've been budgeting for years and years and years and years and more experience is that I started giving myself a lot less. So like I would give myself probably about 30% of this amount. Let's just say like $200, which is approximately 30% of this amount to spend however. And then I would leave the rest for bills because I always figured there might be a bill that needs to carry over. Like I might need extra money for a bill. And so that's what I would do. And I'll do a separate video on how to get 1 month ahead if you have like a low income, like you don't have that windfall of money coming in from like a bonus or a tax refund or something like that, and where you're literally looking at what you have left and saving that money for like certain types of bills. We'll do a separate video using this same information here. So I hope this was helpful. This is just basically listing your income and then listing your expenses, taking what is left after you got all those numbers and figuring out what you want to do with it. Like I said, as I got older, I would put more to savings. I started working towards getting a little bit ahead. I will only give myself a certain amount to spend. As you can see, I don't even have personal money in here because when I first started budgeting, I didn't even know about having money just for myself. I just knew I would have this much money to spend on whatever. So it could have been me, it could have been my son, it could have been anything. But then I realized that I like to spend money. I started learning I'm a spender. So all of this stuff that I'm teaching you is how I learn how to manage my money as a spender. So again, hopefully this was helpful for you. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comment section below. I'll definitely answer your questions or even do a video about it. If this was helpful, give it a thumbs up, send it to a friend, and I'll see you next time.